Yeah, you and Keith are definitely over on the West Coast, that's for sure, Dan Judge.
Push and pull me, no, my belly hate it, but my friend brain addicted, so I hide under my bed. Make sure that you will stay away. Lay myself a trap in your bedroom. Should run, but I just can't make my feet move. My life becomes a mess when I'm with you. Buy a wedding dress, but she won't meet you. Life becomes a mess. I become a mess.
Does she notice the things I notice? How she practices piano on her thigh, imagining the keys inside her mind. Does she notice the things I notice? How her eyes wander the room when it gets quiet, searching for solutions in the silence. But I'm here, I'm here.
Alright, hello everyone, welcome into the stream. Yes, I know, I just threw that on there. I didn't realize I had to edit it. I didn't even think it said that. But yeah, today we're going to be doing a live stream on a Blender tutorial on how to make a realistic DEM and border terrain for your map of FS22. So, starting off, there's a few things you would need to download to begin with. So that would be the GIS, Blender GIS plugin or add-on, as well as, there was another thing, a photo editing software of some sort. So Paint.net, Photoshop, or GIMP. And that'll help you achieve getting the DEM into the actual Giants editor. That's the other thing you need, obviously. Most of you would be aware of that if you're building a map. But so, loading into Blender here, we have to delete, obviously, our camera, our light, and our blue box. So I'll hit delete. And if you have GIS installed, there's numerous videos on YouTube showing you how to install that. Yeah, so welcome on in, Abigail, Jacob, Josh, Jewel, thanks for joining in. J Meister and Mac, welcome. Good to see y'all in here. It might not apply to some of you at the moment, this tutorial, but may be interesting nonetheless. So yeah, I was saying you can find numerous tutorials of installing GIS, Blender GIS on YouTube. So just look into that. So actually, I just realized before we do this part, Rusty Money Gaming, welcome on in. We're gonna go to Google Maps. So I have Google Maps installed on my desktop. And thanks to Josh. Hey Eric. Josh gave us an area of the US that we're going to use to model today. So I'm going to search that in up here and hopefully it's going to... Whoop! That's not what I wanted. What was it? Had it searched up. 1 second. Crokinville or Crockinville, Pennsylvania. That's where we're gonna look up, I'm assuming, and I don't want to get it wrong, but I think this is where Josh wanted to model. Maybe that was just a random area. But I think you said maybe a family member owns a farm over here. So we'll zoom in, so we're Pennsylvania, so kind of East Coast. Dirt Farmer, thank you very much, my friend. And John, so where shall we model? We don't really want to get the town, preferably. So let's try to look around. Like that might be kind of nice, but I kind of want something that's more squared up. Look how cool that field looks right there. It's so wavy. Oh, guys, you wouldn't be able to hear this just because of us streaming, but there is a tree frog that's living in like a water barrel that we have to catch water off the roof. And he is so loud. I can hear him right now just like croaking inside that barrel. It's like so extremely loud. It's cool though. Yeah, he always seems to come around at this time of the year. Whoa, what are those? What are those? Okay, I'm being too particular. I don't think it really matters, does it? We'll just pick... This farm is cool looking. So this is a farm, right? Hey, why not gaming? Welcome on in. Nathan, I didn't catch you there. Oh, okay, cool. He's in the southwest part of PA here. Towboat Fish, Raymond. Jewel the Jet, of course. If you want more tutorials on Giants Editor, Jewel the Jet has them for you. So anyways, we picked this farm here, and we're gonna go find the ruler. So tools, ruler, pull that out. Now what we want to start with is we need a 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer square to build our map in. So the way I kind of do this is, so say we want the farm to be our very central part. So we'll click right here once, drag this out, and you can see below it's doing the kilometers. So we want 1 kilometer, and we want to get 270 degrees, or as close to it as we can. Doesn't really matter. And actually, I always kind of go like 1.02 kilometers. So click there, and we'll hit save. And now we have a line coming out from the middle. It's not maybe the most straight for the way the map is, but it'll work. So we'll hit OK there, and now what we want to do is we want to do that 3 more times. So rulers, we're going to click here. Using, do you see the little white tick there around that box that's like right in the middle? So you kind of lined up that little tick with the red line. Like so. If I can get it. Kind of tricky. Okay, good enough. So click down, and we're gonna go to 1.02. Okay, and then trying to get close to 90. Good enough. I want to go at just a little bit more. I want a little bit of play room here. Okay, so we got that direction. That direction. Now, it's not very scientific, but what I try to find is something on the map to pull reference from. So, over here, there's right close to this green strip coming through that field, like the waterway in that field. And over here, we're kind of going to be lined up with this pointy bit up here. And you'll see what I mean when we open up Blender. So now we have to do that 2 more times. So trying to get the center once again. Pull down 1.02 and as close to 180 as possible. Oh, a little short there, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. This is kind of just to get a feel for it. Unfortunately, this is going to be in the middle of this forest. There is no real reference point other than this little building here. So we'll try to get it as close to that in Blender. Now let's do one more. Simulator YouTuber, welcome on in. Hi there. And Dave, welcome as well. Joe, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome on in. I know Joe's driving truck. I think you said, were you home this weekend? I can't remember what you were saying in the other chats there throughout the week. Or if you're out on the road again, traveling to, I think you said Texas. No? Might be wrong about that. Okay. Now, I'm gonna have to zoom out. Can I do this? Ah! Okay, wait, I got it. There we go. So 360, obviously, that's straight up and down. Oh, which way am I going? There we go. Close enough. Okay, we hit save. So now we kind of have this plus, and that's basically our map. Now, we can just kind of leave it there, but I like to make a reference now of... it's been a little bit since I've done that. So I'm gonna have to just think for a second here. We'll just do what I've done for Dirt's map so far. So, grab a ruler, measure from the end of these, okay, and then out another 2 kilometers. think is what you technically should do. For today's tutorial though, I'm just gonna do 1 kilometer to another 1 kilometer out. And you know, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right. So let's do it. If we're gonna do it, you might as well do it right. This will become clear once we get in the blender, like I said before. But we just have to do this little bit of prep work, and it will save you a lot of time later. Come on, move. So you can just hit clear, and then... I'm just gonna... I'm sure there's a better way of doing that. Someone could tell me. Yeah, it always looks way bigger than you think. Like people always say, you know how like a 1x map is small, but really it's still a pretty big chunk of land. Once we do this, I leave this open, obviously Google Maps open, because we're gonna come back and check it to see where our reference points are numerous times. Now you could leave a little bit more space there, or like beside your line so you could remember. See, like this one's so hard to see the gap somewhere up here. I'll just have to zoom in pretty far. Okay, so there's our map. Imagine this is a big square. Now you could pull in a square image, like an outlined square image to help. But anyways, so you got that. We're gonna close this for now. Okay, now we've cleared our 3 objects in Blender, which is in every tutorial. You delete those. We got GIS installed. We go to Web Geodata, and we go Base Map. Google's fine. You can switch between a maps view, which I think is like just the white image with the roads, or satellite, and you can choose between OpenStreetMaps, Bing, whatever that is, and OpenStreetMaps, WMS. I don't know what that is. Center existing objects. You don't really need to worry about that. So click that, and it's going to load the world like this. Now we're going to zoom in, and you can be smart about this and find the actual coordinates from in here. We don't really need to be that precise. We just kind of need to know the general area. So Crockville, Dillville, or whatever it's called there. It's a lot harder than Dirt's map, to be honest. Oh yeah, okay, I'll make sure of that when we get in there. But what's an easy way to find the coordinates? I don't use Google Maps that much. We want this exact spot. Oh, I think we can just do this. There we go. And I can't remember I closed Blender. What the heck? Or it crashed. Rockranville, okay. Okay, we're back in here. Sometimes it'll crash on you. Since I have multiple things open and I'm streaming. My computer. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, we're up here above my face. Yeah, hold on. Just so everyone knows. And then we'll turn it back on. But up here, you got all your things up here. And it says GIS web geodata. I think I might just leave camera off for now. Geodata map base. And we gotta click that. Just go with the default Google and satellite. There's a drop down there that I was showing when my face was covering it. Sorry about that. But just go with the whatever it's saying. So I'm letting it load because we're at 6 zoom. This might be trickier. There's a way to search the location, I think. I'm not very smart when it comes to that part. So we might have to redo this a few times to actually figure it out. There was a way to... Okay, hold on. I did not practice for this tutorial, and I greatly apologize. This won't be the first time I'll be doing this tutorial. That's for sure. I plan to make a better one. This is just thought, let's dive in, start learning, and remember how to do it. There's gotta be a way to search based on something. I don't really remember. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to do my best guess to find the farm. I'm usually pretty good at this. I've never really looked around Pennsylvania before. So I usually want to go all the way into 16 zoom, I think is what we want. Yeah, I'm just gonna zoom out and try to get our bearings here a little bit. So what's this inlet? Newcastle. Well, now I'm too far. Is it over here? Is that what we were looking at? Is that same place? Well, thanks, Dirt. I'll try. No, that's still way lower. Okay, so up here. It's like playing... I don't know if you guys ever played or heard of GeoGuessr. On YouTube, you can look it up. It's a pretty fun game. Where it's like Google Maps and you're trying to find locations. Based on just like what's around on the Google map. You have to look around and pinpoint it on the map. It's a lot of fun. We're getting warmer. Now it's just trying to pinpoint in here. It's kind of a mess. There's got to be a way, and I'm just being an absolute noob, so I will try to figure it out that way for next time. And see how this GIS doesn't even show roads or anything, which is a bit crap, but I'm in the general area, but now I'm lost. This is not going smoothly. Oh no. Like, how am I supposed to even tell what's what? So this is pretty funny, because like right now, I could go find Dirt's farm in 2 seconds. Because I've done it so many times. I'm not really sure how I found it. I think it's because there's really large landmarks. Well, not landmarks, but you know what I mean. That show. Okay, maybe if I could find this field. This is all like by itself. It has trees all around. It's pretty, stands out pretty well. That might be our best bet here. As long as we don't crash. There's also this. If I can find that, then... Oh, are we close? Does that look like that? Not quite, it looks too small. Well, thanks you very much there, Rusty, appreciate it. Does that look like the right one? No, that's so much smaller, isn't it? Yeah, let's use this river to get us the right bearings here. I'll be like way up here. Uh-oh. I swear this would be a lot easier if I remembered how to do. I think we were way too high is our issue. I don't know. Why can't I find this? Go past that dam. Or bridge or whatever. Okay. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome. Good day. And Matt. Hey there. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so not quite up there. Kind of down. So I guess that's a good lesson. You use Google Maps. Use the rivers to help you find the destination you're looking for. Because on GIS anyways. So that's quite a while that way. But you see how you have a yellow and a green line? You can kind of use that to guide your cursor. So I think that's where we just went past, was this bill. We're gonna keep going over. And there's our grassland, I see it now. Once you kind of find a little bit of it, then it makes sense. So there we go. There's that field right there with the trees all around. We'll let this load in. As you can tell here, see there's this field with the trees. So we're down here and we're at this farm with this big building. Okay, so now let's find the big building farm. Which is that one, is it? Right in front of me. Right here in the middle. Should be. Yep. Okay. So now we need to find, to zoom in. Here we're at 15 times, so I think we're at the right zoom. Yeah, I think so. So it's important, so find the middle of the farm or area, roughly using these red lines as where we want the map borders to be. And then very important is to hit O. So we hit O, and on this checkbox it says lock origins. We're going to hit lock origin for there. Lots of big mowing fields for Vanessa, yes. She can get all the green that she needs. Alright, and then we're going to hit E. And when you hit E, it cuts that area out. So at this point, I'm going to save the whole thing. Save as. I'll just name it tutorial. I have a Blender folder on my desktop. I'll just call it Toots. Or Tuts. Okay, save. Now we have this beauty. What we have to do here is go up to GIS. Then we're going to go Web Geodata. And go Get Elevation SRTM. Now you can pick between Open Topographic SRTM 30 meters or 90. This is how accurate it is. So 30 meter accuracy, which is not that great. GAS doesn't do any better than that. I found this marinegeo.org GMRT for America anyways to work good. I mean, it is for marine, like, you know, the height data of the ocean, but it just gives me smoother representation of the ground here. Yeah, and actually Dirt's just sharing here the Houdini donation link. So we're trying to fundraise to get Houdini, which will help me and Josh develop maps more quickly, more epically, as I was going to say. That's not really a good sentence, but we're going to be able to, you know, procedurally generate survival type maps and things that don't resemble reality a lot easier. We're going to make really cool mountains and stuff like that and be able to put, you know, lots of trees and rocks and everything, make it look really like real life and very detailed without spending hundreds of hours of doing it manually. And it will help with terrain like this, so we can paint more creative terrain and different stuff like that. We also could use what we're doing here today and then export that into Houdini and build from that. So this is still a valuable step and might still be in the process, but Houdini just makes it a lot more epic. So yeah, we're trying to donate to that. I think we're at 20% of our goal, thanks to Dirt Farmer and a few other guys. So really appreciate everyone's help with that. And yeah, it's really cool. I'm very stoked to make stuff for Farming Simulator. I wanted to do game development, and this is kind of a step into that without having to do all the schooling and the extra stuff that involves in making a game, a lot of programming. This is just pretty fun. It's like adding stuff to the game. You get to do it and still get to play the game, and it's a lot easier than developing a game from scratch kind of deal. Alright, so I'm going to select this marinegeo.org. It might not be recommended, but I think it does better than the 30 meter accuracy. I think this is more detailed. So yeah, I will click OK. And what this going to do is, as you can see now, we have kind of a shiny sheen. And that's because now the ground has been 3D modeled. So it's bumpy now. And showing all the terrain. Now remember, we're like thousands of feet above the ground here. And this is a really large area. We're looking at 16 kilometers or more. Almost. Oh no, probably not that. It's probably like 6 or 7 kilometers wide and probably 5 tall. So over here in our different settings, you can see my mouse. Now we're going to come into the wrench, which is your material, or sorry, your modifier properties. And right now we have simple selected, which we want on the DEM, so that's giving you the height data. And we actually want to bump this up to 9. Well, actually, I do 10, but I'm worried that it's going to not work so well with the stream. So hit 10. It gets a little more detailed. Render, we're going to do 10 as well. And then down here, this is your UV dim. So this is the strength that it's showing us. So you can modify this to Right now it's pretty weak, but I mean, that might be reality. You can modify this number and, you know, exaggerate the terrain, which you don't want to do. So we want to go back down to, well, just see what 2 looks like. But usually you set this to 1, or you can set it to 0.1 if it's a very bumpy mountainous area. And in GE we can bump that up by, you know, making it more than it actually is by adjusting the terrain height modifier in GE. So we'll just set it to 1. And now that you have this done, we always want to apply the DEM first. So we're going to apply the modifier up here. So you hit this little arrow down and then check mark apply. We'll click that. It's going to take a little bit. We always want to do that one first, and then the DEM 0.001. Then do that second. Now at this point we can, oop, not what I wanted to do. Straighten our camera out. Now this is where it might get a little bit weird. But now that we have this, sorry, the dog's barking. We're gonna go into edit mode. And it's gonna look black. And you're gonna be like, whoa, what's going on? Yeah, no problem, Matt. That's kind of the goal here, is to make this out, and you'll be able to come back and rewatch it in English. I watched the German tutorial explaining how to do this. So anyway, so it's all black. So we're gonna zoom in, and as you can see, as we get closer, each one of these dots, if we have N selected, so hit N, then we'll click one. We'll hit this center dot, and right now that is up here. If you can see, it's saying for the vertex, we're on vertex on the x-axis at 1.4833 meters from the center. So from the very center dot, the orange one, which is 0, 0, or 1 meter. So it's pretty close. 1 meter for X, 1 meter for Y, and it says 119 for Z-axis, which is your height up and down. So now that it says 1.4, we're going to measure out 1,000 meters to the right. Doesn't really matter where we are. So 1,000 meters to 1 second, y'all. I'll be right back. Sorry, we had visitors. I thought they were gonna come to say hello, but no. They're letting me stream. So 1,000 meters to the right, so which is over here. But we want to double check our Google Maps, since using satellite data like this in different software interpolates the curvature of the Earth. So sorry to any flat earthers in here. It's not how the Earth is. It is a globe. And you'll have to kind of deal with that. So some software would think it, will not interpolate that properly, and then it will be off by several meters or hundreds or thousands of meters, depending. So right now, we want to just look at our map and see. So right now the GIS Blender software is telling us this farm is 1,000 meters, but really in reality, this part of the field over here, that's 1,000 meters. Or 1 kilometer. See how we're just past there? We actually need to go further. Now, don't ask me why, and there might be a solution to this somewhere on the internet, but this is how I've felt or dealt with it. So now, this is where we want to be. Now, if you're not wanting to make the background terrain, which we want to do, you would stop at this point. And so, we're actually going to remember that, and maybe chat can help me remember it, but I will write it down on my own. 1,280.6 meters is roughly where we want the actual playable area, or the DEM of the map, to be. Now, when we go to delete, so we're going to be deleting the excess of this map later. You always want to be like 1 or 2 of these little dots away from where you actually want the edge of your map. So I want the edge of the map to be on this dot, which is 1,259.1 meters, but I'm clicking on 1,280.6 meters to set up where I want to delete, because it deletes 2 rows to the left for some reason. Okay, with that explained, bring back chat. And now we're gonna look. See, I didn't get quite accurate. It doesn't really matter. I mean, we're kind of gonna stretch things, and it's not 1,000% accurate recreation of an area. So there's probably like many meters off. But now I'm gonna go all the way to the border of our map. So the edge border is gonna end somewhere over here. And luckily we have this little, whatever this is, in the middle of the field, which is gonna help us. But look how this farmer did this. So looks like there's headlands. Alright. Around here. Looks like they kept going from left to right. And they did a circle there when they must have ran out of manure. Whatever they're putting down. And you can see they turned up here. Very interesting. That's cool. Okay, so remembering this spot in the field, we come into here. And we want to go over to that spot on the field, which is very blurry because it's not as clear, but it's, I'm gonna guess here. So we're gonna select this dot. So 2,570.5 meters. So that's good. Now we're gonna hit, I think it's Control, and click on the dot. No, it's definitely Alt. So Alt, click on the dot, and now it's going to start highlighting a whole edge. I think it's called an edge. So the way 3D modeling software goes is there's a vertex, which is a singular dot that we're on, an edge, which is like a looping section. So this line going all the way across our model. And then there's a surface, which is the flat, large part of the square. Okay, so now we have the edge selected going all the way up and down. We're going to hit delete. And it's important to hit it, delete, and then vertices. So hit delete. Now it's going to get rid of that. Now, since we don't need the rest of this ground, we're going to select and drag. It's going to highlight that. Now this is an issue. I don't know if it's just with my computer or what we're doing here. When you select that, some of these are missing. And you don't want that, because when you delete it, it'll get very confusing. And there'll be little parts left behind that may be possible to see, but may not be. So we'll select again a bit smaller of an area. See how now it's every single vertex, and there's no missing ones. So we'll delete that. And like the song says, again and again, we're going to do this over and over until, see, it's something to do with when you zoom out too far. So unfortunately there's no quick way of doing it. So we'll slowly go through and we'll delete all of this excess. Now obviously we're only doing 1 kilometer border, which is not enough as I'm finding out on my map. If you're wanting to make your map all platforms, me and Josh still have to kind of try it out once we upload mine and maybe try to make another map with a longer or wider background terrain or outer terrain and figure out what's capable for console and what will keep it. I mean, it's all really based on size and vertices or like polygons, I guess is the easiest way to explain it, but that's not really accurate. That size determines what can be processed on a console. So anyway, so we'll delete all this. And we have to do this 3 more times for the whole thing. Whoa, thanks everyone. I really appreciate that if you did that. That's insane. Thanks, Joe, for letting me know that. That is fantastic. So we're at 55% of the way to our goal. And, you know, me and Josh really like the community. So anything that we learn, we're going to be sharing with you guys. And anyone who wants to, you know, build maps, we're here to help. In the future, maybe like we'll even be able to build maps for people. Once we start, I plan on learning modeling more so we can build buildings and stuff and model it out. We might be able to offer a free service or a paid service to help build maps in the future for certain areas of the world. You know, a lot of you guys have really good ideas. Some of you like Dirt are real life farmers and you know how things are done or what, you know, sometimes mappers don't do right. Like, I mean, last night I spent 2 or 3 hours learning how cow pens were built, like at a cattle selling place and stuff like that, trying to make it more realistic than what Giants has done. So we deleted this whole edge over here of the border that we don't want. So they should be about 2 kilometers from our center dot over here. Blender GIS isn't correct and it's saying 1.5 or 2.5 kilometers. So it's about 500 meters off. That's okay. So now we need to find the top. So we'll go back to Google Earth, and we're gonna go to the very, now we gotta straighten this because we're getting a little cockeyed. Okay, now we're gonna go find our 2 kilometer mark. I guess we don't need, you could just start with the 2 kilometer mark to the very outside. Mama Bear Farming, welcome on in. Good to see you. So we use this tree over here, edge of this field, that corner of that field. And yeah, it's all black, so we're gonna have to zoom in. And this one might be a little tricky. Actually no, it's not that hard. So right here, remember to go to above where we actually want to delete. So we'll go that one. Okay. Alt. Click. Click again till we get it going left to right. Now we can hit delete vertices. Boom. Now see how it's not that much at the top. So that's because we're at 15 times zoom on the Google. Or on the map GIS when we were getting the actual map location. Okay, so we're selecting. It's a little tricky because of how I do things using the on-screen keyboard. you'll have an easier time doing this on your own. With hitting delete and stuff, it won't be as difficult. I'm not a sponsor, but Epidemic Sounds is where I'm getting the music from today. So if you're like wondering, damn, that music sounds really like radio music and not your generic lo-fi music, that's where I get that from. Okay, I see now. Thank you very much, Matt and Vanessa, for donating. I really appreciate it. You didn't have to do that, but it will only help benefit you guys as well, because we'll give you some tips, and maybe we'll be able to work together in the future on maps as well there, Matt, since you kind of know what you're doing already. We might as well make one epic map together, the 3 or 4 of us all working together. So, yeah, I appreciate that very much. Thank you, guys. As long as it didn't put you out, though, I don't want anyone to, doing this. You have to make sure you take care of yourselves first as well, though. But really do appreciate that. And anyone else, don't let it lie on just a few people's shoulders here. If you're interested in this, just a few dollars going towards it would be more than enough. But any little bit helps. And any big ones help too, like Matt and Vanessa for helping, and Dirt Farmer as well. Really appreciate everyone. And Rusty Money, if you donated, really appreciate that. Okay, now we gotta find this corner of the field, so we'll use this driveway over here and pass there somewhere. Like I said, it's not super accurate. It's just the way it is. So, well, I've lost myself. Where am I? Was it this driveway or that driveway? I don't know. I'm gonna go back for a second. Why is it so confusing? This driveway. Over here. Oh, Rusty Money. Thank you very much, my friend. Yeah, no donuts for you for the rest of this month. Oh, what shall we do? Okay. So that I found it. Ah, shoot, I meant to mark this. Oh, no, we're doing the outside. We're okay. My brain just short-circuited a bit. Since we're doing the very outside of the map, we don't need to remember the spots just yet. Okay, so select that with Control. Click. Delete the vertices. Now this is another big side. So unfortunately, because it makes a rectangle instead of a square, the left and right side of the map on here, on Blender, is really big. Bigger than what we want. Hopefully everyone's following along if you're getting lost, but like I said, you can always come back and watch the VOD. And in the future, we'll be making a better version of this. I guess at the moment I could reveal what the plan is. So right now, me and Josh have started a bit of a group called Dirt Farmers, as you saw in the donation link, I believe. And Dirt Modders are. I like Dirt Farmer. The name and the idea, and then since we're kind of building his farm, I don't know, it just kind of felt right. So what me and Josh want to do in the future is to make Dirt Modders a YouTube channel, and we're going to be doing tutorial videos on all facets of modding. So map making, vehicles, buildings, basic stuff. So going very basic, like editing, like what Chad does, CBW Farms, what he does for a lot of his vehicles, and how you see him ripping along the field in the harvester going way too fast. We're going to do little videos. We're going to try to make them as condensed and as professional as we can, because a lot of the tutorials we watch online they have the information, but they're very cluttered, very confused. Not really confused, but jump around and don't really just get you the information you need in and out, and you can come back and watch it if you need to see something. So our idea is to make a YouTube channel like that has very condensed tutorials. So I am planning on kind of scripting these videos, a lot of them, recording some of the footage, and then asking Josh to narrate a script that I'll be producing. Now, I know you're not supposed to, like, you know, judge yourself, but honestly, my voice isn't the best, but a lot of the videos I've watched of Josh and some of the tutorials, he is very easily heard and understood, and kind of carries a voice that makes me pay attention. So I kind of like that. So I'm hoping to get his to be kind of one of the main voices. I mean, I may do some tutorials on the mapping stuff, depending. But the idea is to have very high produced videos, you know. And then we'll have playlists and stuff like that so you can watch. Now, we do plan on trying to make quite a few videos before we upload, because we want to have a lot in a catalog so we can upload weekly from that. And that's kind of how you build decent YouTube channels, I guess, is consistency. Whatever that may be. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. And we have lots of ideas already. Josh has, I had talked to him about this the other day, and he just rattled off, I think, about 30 different ideas already to do for videos. So yeah, and of course, always let us know in different things, stream chat, if you find us and you chat to us in mine or whatever. Ideas, things you want to see. And once we get Dirt Modders going as a YouTube channel, we can definitely show you guys more and more of that, or have a place for you to comment, I mean. Well, I'm just here, I'll just show you guys what the Dirt Modders logo looks like. So right now, this is what the Dirt Modders logo looks like. Me and Josh kind of worked together on coming up with it. Kind of had this dream, and then Josh kind of helped direct it. So yeah, Dirt Modders is a cube, obviously, because of 3D modeling and stuff like that. A D for dirt, M for modders, and then just a little plant kind of representing farming. That's kind of the idea. Hey Rob, welcome on in. Appreciate you popping in for a sec to check us out, see what we're doing. A little bit long-winded, boring content right now. Those that are interested are getting valuable stuff, but those that kind of just chilling are learning and listening to me babble. Okay, so we're almost done deleting all this outside area. What we're left with is our large area. Oop, I got a part up there I didn't delete. Yeah, pretty cool logo. I like it. It's neat. I thought about maybe making it 3D in the future. There's only so much time to learn certain things. I've never made a logo in Blender before in 3D. So that'd just be a whole extra learning curve on top of trying to already build maps and learn modding. I think it's fine to just leave it as 2D for now. Are you sure you're drinking water? Are you drinking spicy water? You know, a little bit of potato water, maybe? Nah. Coffee. I don't actually drink coffee. To be honest with you, I drink tea, non-caffeinated though, and drink a lot of water. I got one of these Yeti cups, if you know what that is, and I have like a orange one. Oh, that's good there, Rob. Me neither. But I drink one of these. It's like 32 ounces. I try to drink 2 of them throughout the day. Okay, so now we have a semi 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer square. And yeah, so actually it's 5,000 meters by 5,000 meters. Which doesn't seem right to me, but whatever. And then the height we're at is 84 meters. So bear with me, as it's gonna take me a minute to try to remember all the steps. So now that we have this done, this is the whole border. I think what I did is we're gonna save this as a copy, and I'm gonna save it as 4x border underscore border. Save the copy. Now we want to add a simple plane mesh. Right now it's set to 2 meters. We want 1,000 meters. Wait, no, we want 1,024 meters by 1,024 meters. Yeah, this is even right. Right, everything's double. Oh, my brain, guys. Okay, so double. So 2,048. Oh, where's I writing? Yep. 2,048 by 2,048. We're going to save this 2,000 by 2,000 square as 1,024. Because in GE, everything is by a factor of 2. So 1,000 actually turns into 2,000 based on the way the math in the game is. So now we have that. So as you can see, that's there. Now this gets a little bit tricky. So right now we're trying to make the DEM not the border. We'll come back to the border after. We had to figure that out first. So now technically we could go back to Google and double check we're lining up. But to be honest with you, I think this might be the way to do it, to get an accurate border to DEM where they meet up, by doing it this way. So now we're going to go back into edit mode. And I'm not selected on what I wanted to select on. Back to object mode, sorry. Click on the satellite image, or whatever, I'll just call it that. Go into edit. As you can see, it's black. Up here on your scene collection of different objects, you're going to click on plane, the plane that we made. See, now we can see the outline, but we're still selected on the satellite image. Now we're going to come in here. Like I said, we're going to click off 1 or 2 of these black dots. We'll see what happens when I'm only, technically this is the second one, but okay, click, delete vertex. Okay, see how we're like off by a little bit? Which I kind of think it's gotta stay like that. Yeah, we'll just keep it like that. Now we can delete this outside. And we're trying to just get the inner square, the playable area of our map cut out. If this makes sense. So control or alt click here. And delete. Oop. Sometimes it doesn't pop up. This current map I'm kind of just showing as a demonstration. It may turn into a map at some point. I wasn't planning on it. This is kind of just a random area. I think Josh maybe said that he has family in this area, and this is the map he wanted to make. I'm not sure if that's what I was understanding. But if he wants to build this, then yes, Dirt Modders will be making a Pennsylvania style map. Oh, you know, actually, we don't need to do that on this one. We can get closer, so we're going to undo that. We're going to select the dot closer to the area. And we'll hit delete. If it will pop up. Stupid on-screen keyboard problems. Ah! There we go. Okay. One more time. Up here. Thanks to everyone for watching. Joining in. Thanks to Dirt Farmer for sending everyone over today. Really appreciate it. Right. Yeah, so the real farm is not this one. But the region that we're in is about correct. So pretty cool. So look forward to that. We will be working on that. Adding in buildings and different things. And, you know, I want to mention too, other map modders are helping. So right now I've been in contact with Lancey Boy, who's a modder that everyone kind of knows. I've been in contact with BC Bueller, Trailer Park Farms, who doesn't make actual official Mod Hub mods, but is known around the modding verse. And all these kind of guys help out by providing buildings and stuff. So if we're not using the actual mods that they have on the Mod Hub, because they want those to count as downloads, obviously, because you get bonuses and stuff from Giants depending on how many mod downloads you get. Those like prefab buildings, so buildings that aren't placeables on the Mod Hub, they pretty much offer those up as long as you're doing good work and you're a legit person and not trying to sell, make money off of what they've already made, and just kind of doing it for the benefit of the community. They're willing to share those buildings. So yeah, but eventually I do want to learn how to build my own buildings in Blender, and I'll be recreating all kinds of American stuff. I really want to focus on building houses, because we just need normal houses in the Mod Hub. None of the houses that we have on Mod Hub are really normal. I mean, you have, you hot pup? My pup come in and he's sweating his butt off. Now, were you running around? Silly dog. Cool down, have a little nap on the cold floor in here with me. Yep. We have like Elk Mountain modding, and he built some great mods, but I mean, they're like a ranch style wood log home, and not a lot of farmers have that on their farm. That's not normal. PA Plowboy, afternoon, how are you, sir? PA Plowboy, you're in Pennsylvania, aren't you? Or are you... Right? That's correct, I think. because we're building a map, a test map, based in your area right now. We're in Pennsylvania near, what was it called? Crockenville? I forgot how Josh played it up for me to pronounce. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my god, I've never had such an active chat in my life, guys. Crockrenville. We have Cochrane in Ontario, Canada. I don't know the county, but yeah, maybe. Yeah, like a modern shed house. That would be fun too. I know Josh has some creative ideas for making those type of ones. I do want to make that too. I don't want to say no to that. That would be pretty cool. There, Rusty. But I just mean like normal bungalows with the garages and stuff, like stuff you actually see out there, and that you can go inside. I mean, some of the ones they did make, but they're like 2-story, and you know, they're just kind of weird. So sweet, PA, that's cool. You definitely would enjoy having a map in that area. And run a little bit smaller tractors, obviously. You don't have big of land some of the places. It'd be really cool. I know, like, another farming YouTuber I watch, Goldshaw Farms. He's in Virginia. Little tiny homestead, like really old barn, and I think he's got like 6 head of cattle and hundreds of birds. And just got 3 pigs, and they have 2 big farm dogs, those big white ones. Toby Dog and Abby Dog, I think is their names, or Abby and Toby. He always says Toby Dog, and then I'm just like addicted to saying that with my dog now. I say Henry Dog. Hey, Henry Dog. Henry is sweating his ass off. It's not even the middle of summer yet, bud. Holy crap. We're gonna have to shave you off. Shave all your hair off so you stay cold. That won't even work. Henry is a Bernese mountain dog and poodle mix. A Bernie Doodle. And he likes winter. And which is good around here because we have about 8 months of winter. But we have 3 or 4 months of really hot summer. Dry, hot summer. So Henry's kind of dying right now. He likes, you know, he likes negative 20 or whatever that would be your guys' temp, like 12 degrees. He'll stay out there for hours outside and not care. But right now he's like sweating. But we have AC now. Actually, he's the only reason we got air conditioning. Oh yeah, that would be cool there, Rusty. You'll have to send some pictures of your different ideas there, and definitely something I'd be interested to try. Yeah, or even like a more, well, there is a few, but I'm sure everyone's getting kind of tired of the same log cabins over and over. I'll show you guys my hometown too near the end of the stream on Google Maps, and to show you where I was kind of thinking of building some stuff. None of you guys are going to be in my area anytime. I'm not concerned about that. Okay, so now we have our area cut out here, what we want. We're going to go to object mode, sorry. We're going to delete the plane. We don't need the plane anymore. The plane was just getting us that yellow orangey background square that helps us figure out where we need to be. You know, I just realized I have not been playing the playlist I turned on. Ah, crap. We're gonna get... So, if the stream gets muted, we'll do this another time. Man, I thought I clicked not shuffle, and it's been shuffling, and that's why the music was so good. It's because we were listening to real music. And, you know, like, legit artists. Oh, well. Well, crap. We all make mistakes. Okay, so we're in object mode now. We have our square cut out. Ooh, I hope this works right. So we're going to select the square. We're going to go to our GIS up here. Web. Geodata. We already got the height trained. No, I want to go down to... So hit GIS plugin, then go to nodes. Terrain analysis. Click that. It's going to look just white. Then we're going to be like, ah, shit. But up here, we hit viewport shading. And then it's going to pop up with this shape. So this shape is, I think, like the greener, the lower, and the brighter red, the higher. So that would be like our heights. We're going to go into shading. And in shading, we have all these nodes. So this is a node editor for textures and shading and stuff like that in Blender. It might look familiar to some, might look totally foreign to others. So we're going to hit green. And we're going to turn this part into black. So pull this all the way down to the bottom. So we're black, and this one's red. And we want to, I think you have to click the little gray triangle. Then we want this to be white. So we'll go to red, green, blue. Turn that up to 1. And it should turn to white. Down here is your Z min of the terrain that we've made. And our Z max of the terrain. So minimum is the lowest part on the image. Is 100.3 or 103.710 meters. And our maximum, so our highest point, is 172.153 meters. Now in GE, we have a maximum terrain height default of 255. You can go above 255, but it will start looking kind of funky. Anything past 300 in the height on Giants Editor will really not work. So sometimes you can adjust this, but since we're within that, we don't need to touch anything. But if you had a terrain height that was above 255, we would have to adjust this so the total difference between the lowest number and the highest number is between 255. Don't know if that makes any sense. But all I need you to know is if your Zmax is lower than 255, you don't need to worry about this. At least that's what I understood in my creating of maps. And luckily this terrain is pretty low, because so for instance, this is in Pennsylvania. That's the difference of height between here and Montana. So Montana, where Dirt Farmer is about, I think, 870 meters above sea level. So his Zmax on his farm was 870 something to 917 or something. So way higher than this area. So we're in a good window here. So as long as it's black on this side, on the left side of this color ramp, and white on this side. If we go back to our layout, now you can see this black area is the low area, so I was wrong. So the green is low, the red is... No, that's what I said. Don't question yourself, Keg. You got it right the first time. Here we go. Yeah, so black is the low parts, white is the high parts. So now that we have this, we're gonna have to adjust the sides of this to be the right. I told you I was gonna have trouble because I didn't watch the tutorial. I kind of didn't want to do this today, but then I just dove in and it's been good so far, but now I can't quite remember what steps I need to do next. Okay, take care, Nuke. Thanks for tuning in for so long and watching this rambling man build stuff, Blender and whatnot. We have to do something with the UVs. I just don't remember what or how. Okay, so hit this green triangle looking thing. Object data properties. Do the UV maps here. Click the plus button. And click on that little camera icon for UV maps. Now we're gonna split our window. So left click up or right click up here at the top in this gray area and split vertical. And we'll split it so we have two views. So on this right one, we're gonna select using this drop down. Right next to where it says object mode, there's a little, I don't know how to describe that button at all. It's like a checkers type button with a little whatever the hell that is. And we're going to click UV editor. And then on this screen over here, we have to be on our edit mode, select all. And now you'll see this square pops up. So now we need to hit these arrows up here, which is going to sync this side with that side. So we're selecting all the same thing. We're going to click contain to image bound. So hitting UV, then click this contain to image bounds. Now you could manually do this, but it hasn't been working for me. The next part, sorry, not yet. Hey Raymond, welcome on in once again. So then we hit N when we have this highlighted and this highlighted together. You hit N and it brings up these UV vertex X and Y, and we want this to be 0.5 and this one to be 0.5, which helps us center the whole object. Like that. Now you can hit S and size it up, and it's supposed to scale the whole thing on the sides too, like left and right, but it's only doing up and down. So I'm going to cancel that. What I'm going to do is click on UVs up here, and I'm going to go to UV unwrap. So this unwrap, go over here and hit smart UV projection or project smart UV project. So we're going to do that. Click on this. We're going to scale to bounds. Make sure this is ticked off. Scale to bounds. I don't think this angle limit matters. We definitely want scaled, and you don't have to touch any of this. So we hit OK, and that stretches everything out. I don't really know the science behind UV unwrapping and all that, why we do this and what it does to make a difference. What I kind of understand is since we're going to be, so since right now this square is 2048 meters by 2048 meters, and we're going to shrink the image down to 1024 by 1024. Doing this UV unwrapping, make sure that it scales correctly and everything's in the right place when we shrink it down and save it as that, I think. Or in the next part here helps us when we're stretching our image around. So we don't need this anymore. Wow, thanks very much everyone. That's incredible. Unbelievable. That is next level. So now that we did the UV stretching and all that business, we're going to click back on this and hit Rast UV map. I think that sounds right. And then we'll go to material properties and we'll click Rast matte. You have to be in edit mode. So edit mode, then Rast matte up here. If you click, hit assign, that's gonna bring us back our normal image like that. Now that's just showing us the whatever. Now we're going to be changing the size of this, and since we did that UV unwrapping, it will stay correct with the height map or something. I don't really know. So we'll change this to 2048. Right? 2048. And we don't want to touch the Z-axis. Don't want to. Now, this scale changed here. So then we're going to have to click Control A. Control A and then apply scaling. So that resets this to be 111. Don't know why. Don't know what it does. Whatever. That's just what it has to be. Not sure the reason. Now we have this done. We're going to go to shading. Go in shading. You're going to pull up a little bit so you have more space. You're going to hit add. Texture. Image texture. Click like this. We want linear, flat, repeat. Doesn't really matter, I think. Hit new. We're going to save new as sat matte. Sat underscore matte. Or whatever name you want to remember that this is going to be the satellite material or satellite image. We actually want 2048. My 2048. Because GE likes that, or Giants Editor likes that. We're going to want alpha, that's fine. And we're hit OK. Now we're going to come over here on the right side. We'll hit render properties. We'll go down to where it says bake. Open up bake. And then where it says bake type, we're going to click diffuse. Diffuse, and then we're going to turn off in influence what am I trying to say? Contributions, we're going to turn off direct and indirect. We're going to leave color on. Then we're going to hit bake. Now this is going to probably lock my computer up for a bit. So down here, it says no active image, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're building an active image. We're building an image that is 2048 by 2048. So we're baking that texture so that we can then save or export out that image. So later when we're in GE, we can take our terrain and have that over there, whatever. So I made a mistake. So as you see here, down here, now we have this weird rectangle ground, not what we wanted. So I think the issue was down here in the UVs. Because I have rest UV map selected, we actually want the UV map one selected. But you want to keep your cursor highlighted on this one. I don't know why this is, but keep it highlighted on that and then click the camera on the UV map. back to here. Everything's the same. Hit bake. Hopefully this time the image will be filled this whole square instead of just this part that I did right now. Well, PA, I really appreciate the donation there, my friend. Like I said, guys, don't put yourself out. But I guess if you want to be able to play a map in Pennsylvania in the future. Okay, so this is what I was afraid of. Something I'm doing isn't working today. And I really don't know what my problem is. So I just selected the UV map totally. See if that will fix what's happening. If not, I'm kind of lost or missed a section of the tutorial. Well, thanks, PA. Yeah, we will try to build the map as soon as we can. We gotta get Dirt's Farmer's map done first, and then me and Josh had a few ideas floating around on things. To be honest with you, after making a survival-based kind of your own fictionary world is a lot easier than recreating real-life stuff in terms of messing with everything I'm doing right here. I may do a tutorial in the future on how to use Photoshop or a photo editor to create DEMs that way. By using like a normal topographic style map. So having a set of black to white, I guess, rings of height. Okay, so yeah, this worked now. So when you want to do this, you want to make sure in UVs, you're selected on UV map, and you're clicked on it, and the gray is showing, and the little camera icon over here is highlighted. So as you can see down here now, in this sat mat, we have a square image of the area we're working with. So then we can hit the hamburger button right there. That's what that's called. If you've ever seen 3 stacked lines on a menu on a website or a program, that's called the hamburger button. Oh boy. Yeah, that might be really challenging. The fields next to the house, that I don't think you guys actually farmed that land, that like you have grass on it mostly, right? Like last year I think you made hay or something off there, or triticale I think was on those fields. I don't know, you tell me. But those little fields next to the house, I say little, they're still big, but are definitely part of the farmhouse when you first buy in the map. And those might be possible to use older equipment on, but some of the big ones, yeah, you're going to be there for a while. Okay, so we're going to go image, hamburger button, image, save as, and satmap PNG. Doesn't really matter or any of this. I mean, it's going to be a large image, and you're going to want to make it a DDS later, which I can show you how to do in Photoshop. I don't know how to do it in GIMP or anything. That software is confusing to me. So hit save as, and we have that saved. Now, we want to... It'll all make sense later. The reason we're doing this is because we're going to use this to make a... what do you call it? Like, it's technically going to be like an object in Giant Editor that has this image, so you can match up where things on the map are located on your DEM, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're in shading all that. Let's go back to layout. This is all correct now. something I'm forgetting, but that's okay. We're gonna go back to object mode. Or edit mode, sorry. Oh, okay, well, yeah, we're gonna wait then. Okay, then hit height, export, Google Sat, WM, whatever, hit assign. Now we're back to, this is our DEM right here. And we're at 2048, about 2048, we're gonna go to shading. We're gonna add another image like we just did with the other one. So we're gonna add image texture, new. Now we want 20 or 1024 by 1024. Everyone says this too. In GE, it will switch to 1025 by 1025. I don't really understand why. But we'll save this as, and what you need for your map is map underscore, like not capitalized, normal, map underscore DEM. I can't remember if the DEM has to be in capitals or not. But we don't want an alpha channel because we don't want this to be a clear image anywhere. Alpha is, well, white, isn't it? But kind of like clear, I don't really know. We just don't want the alpha. And we want generate type blank, that's fine. We actually want this to change to linear or color space. We don't want RGB. And that should be good. Now we're gonna, now I can't really remember how we do that. I'm dancing around because I think I gotta take a break in a second here to go to the bathroom, but I think this is what we want. I could be doing this whole thing wrong, but whatever. I think we'll leave it like that. We'll go to our image thing, diffuse, untick those two like we did before, hit bake, and it should start baking our image. I will be right back. I just gotta use the bathroom. All right, back. Wow, thanks everyone. I really, really appreciate that. That's crazy. That's amazing. Heck, we probably can fund that $42 on our own. If that's all that's left, that's nothing. Wow, that's incredible. Thank you, Farm Sim community, for doing that. No pressure, Josh or me, that we have to now execute and make maps. Oh man, that's awesome though. Okay, so we have our map DEM rendered out. We're gonna hit save as and map DEM. The problem is we already have one in here. Make a new map or new folder, tutorial, tutorials, whatever. Save it in there because this is what GE wants, so we don't actually want to make it a different name. Now there's a bunch of different options in here. You can do 8-bit or 16-bit. It's going to make the file a lot bigger, but it's going to make it smoother. And then the format, we want it to be in PNG. We want the color space to be linear. And the color to be black and white. And we'll save this as. And we'll open that up just to double check what's happening. So I could, well, I'm not going to embarrass dirt, but I could bring up some real footage from farming from the video that wasn't ever put in the video. Pretty cool. Okay. What was I doing? I was opening the map DM. I got distracted by my own computer files. Tutorials. See, this is the problem. So now it's 16-bit, but wow, it's way too dark, right? That's not gonna work. So what we actually want to do is we're gonna come back to save. We're gonna not do that. We're gonna leave it in RGB. And we might be able to do 16-bit and have it come out correctly. So let's check. See? And now all of a sudden it comes out more normally, but it's, I don't really know. I don't know, man. I don't know. You can see when you zoom in, you can see all these lines. So there's like your different layers. So if we could do this in Photoshop, it may take a long time, but we could have 100 or 255 different shades of black to white, and then you could build out topographic shapes like this. So like circular, you know, of the height. That's how they do maps on, or topographic maps. You know, the low areas, one really big circle, and then say it goes into a volcano or whatever. It'd be multiple circles, different heights, all the way up. We could do that in Farm Sim by building an image that has that with the different values, from dark being the lowest, so black being 0, and white, full white, being 255 meters above. You know what I'm saying? So we could do that. But anyways, now we have the map DEM. I just realized though, to have a blank map. Yeah, we'll come to that in a sec. So we have our DEM. We got our image of our area, playable area, so we can line up buildings and roads and whatnot. Have a real PDA if we want, but it's not really going to look good because it's very blurry. So we're going to save this. I'm going to close this. Now I'm going to go back and open up the tutorial for exporter. 14 months of winter, yeah, it really was like that. Now, we need to I think this is where I made a mistake with how my map doesn't line up 100% perfect. And it's because I changed the size. When I made the DEM, I changed the size to be 2048 by 2048. And it came back in here, and technically this isn't the same, right? So, okay, again, we want to come in before we do anything. I'm going to UVs, add a UV map. Split this in half again. So we got 2. Go over here and go into UV editor. Want to be in edit mode on this one. Select all. Zoom out a bit. Crap, we gotta go to shader first. I don't know how we did this before. But anyways, we gotta go add texture image. Save it here. Create a new. And now we want what do we want? No, I think we just want 4096. Because that would be 4 times. But is it technically that? No, because we're at like 3. Nah, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do 2. I don't know, do your own research and figure this out. I mean, it's only the second time I've really done this. We're gonna save this as map. Oop. Map border. We'll just save it in our new folder. So now back to here. Wait. No, okay, there we go. Hit the 2 arrows there. Hit N. Make the X 0.5. Make this one 0.5. Okay, UV. I don't know if we actually have to hit that if we're smart unwrapping, but that's always good to UV constrain to image borders. Want to do unwrap, smart projection. Oh, I did it wrong. Go back. UV unwrap, smart UV project, scale to bounds. Okay, correct. Now we want to go back to that. Okay. Alright, we still need to be in edit mode. Material. Uh-oh. No. Like that. Uh-oh. What did I do now? Oh, there we go. Okay. Just about lost it there, guys. I wasn't sure what was happening. Alright, make sure we're selected on this. Like that. We're gonna make that plane again. So add mesh plane 2048. Oh, I'm jumping. Forget that. Don't do that just yet. Select this, resize this to 4096. See how this isn't totally accurate, and just because the way Giants works, it can't be. Shrink that down, right? Bye, Jules. Take care. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. And make sure, guys, if you want to learn some basics of Giants Editor, go and watch some Jules videos. She explains stuff very well for beginners and shows you a lot about how the software works. So check out Jules for that. You will not be disappointed. But thanks for tuning in. Okay, so we're back to where our plane was. So remember, we're going to select this guy. Going to go into edit mode. Then we're going to click back on the planes. And then we'll be able to see. So back on the plane, and then you can see the border. This time, we're not going to delete the outside. We're going to delete the inside. So delete all of this. And we don't need this split anymore. I don't know how to get rid of it. I'm just going to pull it over for right now. We're getting closer to when we can pull this into GE and show you what it looks like. We're getting closer. Very, very soon here. Oh, thanks, Dirt. Appreciate sharing Jules' link there. Yeah, like I said, very good to learn basics. She shows you how to use the terrain brushes and all kinds of stuff. And then recently she's been learning how to use the street spline generator or whatever it's called to build roads. I haven't learned that because the maps we've built so far, or Dirt's map in particular, doesn't have pavement roads anywhere close. So there's no need to add that into the map. So I've kind of just not learned that yet. And with Houdini, which, wow, I can't believe we're almost going to get it like next week or a few days from now. That's insane. We'll be able to generate roads without using street spline. Using that software, it's going to work out great. That's pretty incredible. So I guess me and Josh will have to have a conversation about that, and maybe we will figure that all out and how we go about buying or getting that license. That'd be great, but yeah, no concerns of when. I still have plenty of work to do with what I have already worked with, but that is super exciting. Very cool. So yeah, make sure you select. Yes, Joe, that would be cool. We do need to find someone. So, yeah, I think, of course, me and Josh are up for others joining us in our little group. It was not ever intended to just be him and me. If we had a vehicle editor, that would be amazing. I mean, we have Legacy Egg, who is helping with building designs. I know he's busy with our stuff. I haven't really talked to him in a little while. He's a quite busy guy. But he should be building the buildings for Dirt's farm soon. But yeah, vehicle modder who knows how to do 3D modeling, make vehicles. That'd be super. Hey, Legacy is in the chat. Welcome on in. If you've been lurking, appreciate it. That's cool. I'm creeping. Fantastic. Yeah, no pressure. I mean, I have a lot to do on the map still. Like, we got like, I'd say I'm at like 50%. Well, more than that. I think 62% of the way there. But the final like 40% is going to take a lot. And then the last like 10%, 5%, like it's going to drag on quite a bit. I was actually going to try to use some of your buildings on the map right now. So my plan, kind of what I've been rolling with, is I'm using pre-existing prefabs and other mods that I was given on the map as placeholders, and then once we have the real buildings built from you, we will add those in. But I want to build the map as is, where it has functional buildings. That may not be the exact ones that are on Dirt Farm, but they're close enough. Yeah, I think me and Josh got the new crops. Like, I talked to BC Bueller, so I know a little bit that I can use his stuff and his crop, what they've designed for crops. Alright, so now we have this kind of border with the hole cut in the middle. Doesn't look quite right, but it is, I think. So, now we have that selected. We're going to go into shading. No, we have that selected, so we're good. Linear RGB. Looks good. We'll hit our little camera icon. No. Why won't it show up? I don't see. Oh, I don't know if we even had to. No. I don't know, guys. So the current map we're working on now, I have no idea what Josh would be calling it. Like I said, the one we're kind of creating in this tutorial isn't going to be a real map, or at least this exact area I've clicked on. But the Dirt Farm map, or Dirt Farmer's map, is called Dirt Farm. I thought it'd be pretty fitting to just call it that. Okay, guys, for some reason I can't seem to get the bake thing to pop up. And I don't know. I've never had that. Happen. I don't know why it won't show up. What the hell is this song? You're dirty and I like that. What the? It's called Safe Word by Terrell Wolf or something. We're just gonna... No. What is happening? Well, I guess dirt modders. We're dirty. Okay, I don't know. This is like thing called... What was I saying? Like the flippin'... Ah, there you go. I was on Render Engines Eevee instead of Render Engine Cycles, I mean, sorry. Dirty farmers, actually. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Okay, go back to bake, right? Bake type diffuse. Untick, directed, indirect. influences or contributions or whatever it says. Now we're gonna bake this. We should be selected on UVs. I think I might have done that wrong. But let's see. I'll be sad if this gets muted, this stream, but at the same time, I did it one time and I know what I'm doing, so I should be able to make more tutorials. I mean, right now we're pushing 2 hours. And I would like to drop that to like a 20-minute video, 15 minutes if we could, on how to do this. Whew. Now, the reason why I'm interested in showing this off, and I mean, we're going to get Houdini, but Houdini costs $600, as we all know. And Blender's free. The GIS add-on's free. Paint.net or GIMP is free. And Giants Editor is free. So, we would like to make tutorials on how to do things the free way. So, everyone can take part and do this stuff. So we'll let this render. It should pop up here and we should have a hole perfectly to fit our terrain. Yeah, we do. Woohoo! Guys, it worked. Yeah. It flipping worked. I know what I'm doing. Okay, hit the hamburger button. Save as. At border, PNG. Yep, and yep. Click on tutorial. We want it to go in there. Sweet. We can save this for now. But now we need to export this as its own i3D object to use within GE. So we're gonna go to export. Yeah, thanks Simulated YouTuber. I really appreciate that, and that's really cool. Yeah, exactly. Like Josh is saying there. We could make Houdini tutorials eventually, but I don't want people spending that much money on map making if you're just going to make one map based around your area and not do it as more maps. But anyway, so I had to install the i3D Blender plugin or add-on, which is on the Giants Editor's forum website. If you have Giants Editor installed, you know the website I'm talking about and where to find the Blender add-on. And again, there's tutorials on the internet explaining how to do it. I think even Giants shows you how to do it, maybe. It's not that complicated. I don't want to show it. If you're lost, obviously message me or whoever. But you should be able to find a tutorial on how to do this. So we'll hit export i3D. We want to have selected objects. We want to remove this empty camera and light and leave mesh and whatever that is. I can't read today. Whatever, I've done this good so far in stream. I'm not gonna get flustered about that. So click our folder. We're gonna save. You could click clean if you must. I'm not worrying about the size of my outer terrain at the moment, but you might need to. So now I'm gonna crash Blender. It's not responding because it's trying to save that big file. Oh really? That'd be pretty cool if you do get time to do that there, Joe. Maya is great. Blender, I'd say, is just as great, if not more powerful, and it's free. So I mean, to each their own, what you want to learn and what you've been used to. I mean, for me, like Photoshop, like I know you could get a free version using GIMP and stuff like that, but Photoshop has been what I've learned all the way since high school, so to me that is comfortable, but I totally understand if you're comfortable with using Maya. Okay, so here's the problem. Our map border object here is 73.5 megabytes in size, which is quite large for the part that the player is not even going to even be looking at. So what you need to do is come into modifier, and you're going to add a, what's it called? This one here, whatever the heck you call that. Decimat or dice mat something. I don't know how to. I'm really bad at reading. Sometimes you hit that, and it's gonna read the face count here. So that's how many polygons per se or vertexes there are. So you want to. We can unsubdivide. There's different ways of doing it. Collapse is fine. And we want to bring the ratio. I can't remember if it's down or up. We'll reduce it. Down will reduce it. So you want to reduce this quite a bit to be like 1.2 or 0.2. So reduce that down to, I think it's 108,495 face count, which is still quite a bit. So let's try to drop it down to 0.1. So this just makes, well, it's kind of like the quality of the terrain. So it's maybe going to look a little bit more bumpy than what you would actually want. But we need to do that to save space and make the map loadable for console. So we'll save this again. I'm going to put underscore small just to kind of reinforce that, and we'll hit export. So this time it shouldn't crash my computer, but it might. No, it exported a lot quicker that time. So now it's here, and now we're down to 7 megabytes instead of 70. We'll see the quality difference, but that's kind of what you have to do. While I'm over here, this is the sat mat we made earlier. I'm going to copy. Actually, there's a couple things I'm going to copy. Or in the border, it's not going to like me to grab that. We'll cut those. We'll put them in here just so we're all in the same file. Okay. Now we're pretty much done with Blender at this point. And now we need to get an empty version of a map. Whatever map. I'm going to just save this. The close Blender. I'm going to open Giant Editor. I can close Google. In Google, because I had put down, you can put a marker, add place marker, whatever, here. Click that, save it, so that you have it in the future. You can come back when you reopen and know where you are. Like, you can save it here, temporary places folder, and it will contain this landmark. I don't want to do that today. I'm not worried about it. Someone sends you through a Dropbox. Yeah. I think Blender is just all around a better option to learn nowadays just because it's free. And there's a vast, vast library of tutorials on the internet. But to each their own. I've played with Maya before too. It's just for future updates and stuff. Like if the software goes out of date or if the exporter For instance, gets updated and you don't have the new version or whatever. So we're in Giants Editor. For everyone that's never made a mod, you can load Giants Editor like this. You can create new mod from game. So file, create new mod from game. And it's not responding. There we go. So up here at item, we can select what we want. So we want US map because it's a US map. So ID file and type map. I'm not going to go into all the nitty gritty on how to make this so you can use your own files and all that jazz. You can look up tutorials, or we're going to make a tutorial eventually how to do this. Okay, we're going to go into Blender. We're going to go in tutorial, and we're going to select this folder, and this is going to plunk a new map. Pretty much like when you put a mod map into your game. It's going to create that structure. You know how, like, for instance, Edgewater, Saskatchewan, when you download it, it's a zip file. That goes into your mods folder on the game, and the game extracts that zip folder and makes it playable. What we're doing here is we're making the non-zipped up version of that. So what the game actually sees and what the actual map is. You can actually load a map like this onto your game that's not zipped. But anyways, so now you can tell we're in here, right? We're in what do you call it? Elm Creek. And just for today, I'm gonna delete pretty much everything. So I'm just gonna delete all the things from Elm Creek because we don't really need them right now. So we just want this. No trees or anything. I'm not in the right mode for my joystick mouth thing. Bring myself back now. Whoa, we're upside down, guys. We're upside down. So zoom out. So in Giants Editor, your WASD is to move your camera, but you have to hold down right mouse button at the same time to help you navigate around. All the tutorials I watched before I really got into this were so confusing on how to move the character, like the screen around it. It really was not complicated. WSD, well, right mouse buttons held down and you can fly around super easy. Okay, so we want our brush down here. I'm hoping most of you have a basic idea of how to use Giants Editor at this point in the tutorial. So we're gonna get a 2000 square or round brush, doesn't really matter. We're gonna go to our terrain foliage mode, scroll down, and we're going to change our terrain foliage to this grass. And we're gonna paint. So I just clicked my left button. I might crash the whole thing, but okay, there we go. So the whole thing's grass now. Sometimes if you're like me, you click it twice just because. I don't know why. You lost me. I'm making a map. I can understand that. So this was the terrain foliage. I think we got rid of all the plants and everything on there. The next we need to do is... it doesn't really matter. We're kind of at this point. You can learn how to do this another time. I'm going to hit save for now. And I'm going to close this just for now, so we make more sense of this. open our file location where we're at. So our map's in here and there's a bunch of gobbledygook everywhere. What we want to do is take this map DEM. We're going to hit copy. We're going to go into our map. Maps US. Yeah, definitely I think making a building for your first mod is a lot easier than trying to build up a tractor. Or a truck or whatever. Okay, so map DEM is in here. 2025 by 2025. We're going to paste ours. Replace the file in this destination. Boom. Now we have ours in there. It's automatically changed it to 1025 by 1025. About the same size as the one that was in there. And we're good to go. So we'll come back over here. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, go in here. Now we're going to open our map. Within here, bring up Giants Editor. Now, this is a problem I kind of thought was going to happen and I forgot it was. So, because of the way we saved it, it's kind of pixelated now. Giants Editor is thinking every little spike is like a part of terrain, so this is kind of messed up. The way I solved this, it shouldn't do this by chance. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot more challenging. Yeah, perfect. You can definitely walk on this, farm on this. Awesome. Let's fall into the abyss of spiky ground bits. Wow, my god. Yeah, this is not good. So yeah, what's this doing is it's very confused. It thinks every pixel on that little image is a different height and the whole thing is all wonky. So we're gonna want to close this. I could do this live and you can leave that open. I'm not going to right now. Nope, it's not scale. It's honestly a problem with the image. So I'm going to open this image in Photoshop. And this is what I did for the dirt map, actually. So it's not even that accurate of a map. It's close. But it gets you to a ballpark where you don't have to sit there sculpting every inch of the whole map, you know what I mean? So, yeah, for some reason, it's picking up all its pixels and everything, and it's not really working too well. So Photoshop, you want to make sure you unlock your file first. You're going to go up to Image, I think Adjustments, and you're going to click Post size, I don't know. I don't know what that means, but whatever. You click this one, however you pronounce that. Forgive me. I've just bullshitted my way through life, pretending to know how to read, but I'm really not that good at it. They didn't teach me very well. This word I put in chat. You want to click that. And then there's different levels to the scaling of it. So this is what gave me an idea of we could make DEMs using something like this. So as you can see, it's creating different heights like a topographic map. So this would be your absolute highest point. Down here would be your lowest. And very steppy. You can make it smaller if you want, or bigger, or whatever. If you're like over here, it's still pixely, like crazy pixel. So you can bring it back to 60 or whatever. We'll go 60. Click OK. Then we're gonna save. Export legacy web. However you like to export things out of your photo editor is fine. And we're gonna save this. And since it's not working, period, I'm just gonna copy over we're just gonna save over this one. Save. We don't need to keep this, it's not that important, so no. We're gonna copy our new file. It's way smaller data size even, but it's gonna work better. Data, gonna paste your destination file. Doesn't look that much different, does it? Nope. And we'll open our file. And boom, we're in the map. So now the ground looks a lot better. Still quite high, but this might be correct. I'm not sure. I don't know why that's happening either. The sunshine's like going through something. But as you can see, it's kind of lumpy doo. No, obviously you can just go with a very large brush like we had. So our terrain brush. Go to add, subtract, smooth, or whatever. Put smooth on. Hit it a couple times. Smooth it all out. Well. Very large brush, very smooth, yes. Yeah, okay, so we can adjust the terrain height using, so if you click on terrain height and you go over to terrain here and our height scale is 255, you can lower that. Say 225, let's try that. The ground will lower a bit, like maybe even more than that, so click 200. And you might be able to just put your maximum height here, maybe. So I think it was like 170 something, so you can put 175 and that might make it accurate. So you have to hit the reload i3D file, like this. And it will readjust. It will undo your smoothing. But you kind of just have to keep playing with it until you have what the hill is like. It still looks like a lot, and this is kind of the trick I had. Now, there might have been some math to do in Blender to get the right size. You could adjust the scaling here like I will with the outside border, but GE doesn't like a terrain scale of under 1, so you can't really do that. So actually, this didn't save, did it? I didn't hit save. So that's my bad. I have to hit save first, then reload. So wait for that. Okay, now it should make it smaller. Yeah. So it's still quite a bit hilly, but so you just kind of adjust that based on what you want. You just keep trying it till it gets to the right height. There might be a different way, might be a better way to do it, but this is what my understanding was and why I struggled so long. I changed this to 100 because it still looks like way too much, maybe even just 75. Actually, the big test will be when we pull in the other terrain. But again, it might be because I'm doing the scaling wrong within Giants Editor. Or within Blender, sorry. Now I made it way too small. but maybe that's correct now. I don't know. Okay, regardless of that though, let's do the fun part now. So we'll hit import, and we're going to do, remember, border terrain small. Open that. And we will pull it down using the y-axis. So next, negative 50, no, that's not enough. So we kind of have it right. It's a little bit off though, I think. Oh no, maybe not. Actually a little low. So you kind of have to play with it to find where you want to be. You know, so. So mine's like 80, negative 86. Now, you see how this kind of shows you what your scale should be with either the real board, like the real terrain, or the border. See how it dips down here? So actually, technically, this ground goes down a little bit. So we have it too flat, and we need to have it a little bit more. So that might be the better way. Export the border in. Now, right now, the border's not working, right? It's not showing up. That's because we haven't linked the albedo map. I don't know why they call it that, but what is the why? Silent Night by Ingrid Witt. No. Not right now, thank you. Now come in here, we click our map border. It's gonna tell us it's not optimized, so it's gonna take our PNG and turn it into a DDS file, which is a different type of image file that works with Giants Editor. Now, I have had this problem before. I don't know what I did to fix it. Something to do with exporting out of GE, or it's because the file path is incorrect. For some reason our middle section is not there, even though it's there. Crap. But now you can see these line up pretty well, and you have your giant outside border that for some reason has. So this might be a UV problem when I unwrapped it, and that's why it's being goofy. Or there was a simple fix, but now I can't remember. So now when we stand in here, we have our like border terrain. See, we need our ground to be a little bit higher so it matches up with that. And I forgot to delete all the foliage, so there's still bushes and wow, we just jumped off the map. Alright, no, we're having a texture issue. Alright, so I'm gonna click save for now. I might want to take this part of this, or most of this. Copy that address. I guess I don't technically. Josh will probably tell you. I probably don't need to close this, but I'm going to. We're gonna go. At this point, you should technically pull this within your map file, but for this tutorial, I'm not going to bother doing that. So, I forgot to mention you kind of want Notepad++ installed too. But up here, right now our files are set to hashtag data or cache sign data TIFF, and we actually don't want that. We want to have our file path there, I think, is what we want, or we need to do that in materials, have it of file name blah 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 blah. Maybe we'll try this though. Oh, my camera's covering it. Wrong button. All the things. Yeah. Okay, up here where it says files, file name equals. It said cache sign data TIF, and we want to change that to be our path location for our map border image, or our PNG image. So now we have that. Now let's see when we open the map if it gets the correct thing. If not, I'm forgetting what I did to solve this error that we're having. And the tutorial was almost perfect, but this error. If the error didn't happen, oh boy, we would have been golden. It would have been a perfect video, but I don't know what I did to fix this the one time. So anyways, I think that's going to end the tutorial today. Next time I will try to get a tutorial that works. For the end part of the tutorial, we almost got there. There might have been a step I missed in Blender. There might have been a step I missed in Giants Editor today. I don't really know, and I'm pretty exhausted from the 2.5 hours that we did today. So I think we're going to end it. Before we finish off, let's do a quick Dirt Farm map tour of the current progress of the Dirt Farm map. That's coming to all platforms for Farming Simulator 22. So we can open up the game here. I'll switch screens and open my webcam. We'll turn the game on and we'll check out, what I've done so far on my map. If we pop up. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to delete what I had there because we don't want that. So if we hit new farmer mode easy, we're going to select Dirt Farm Montana with Dirt Farmer in his big John Deere 9R with the disc on it. And thanks to Josh for showing me that. Need a better quality image here, but this is kind of what I was going with. Dirt Farm with the little tractor. And you click on that. We'll definitely have to figure out how to make it a higher quality image. I don't know why mine's so low quality. But anyways. Oop. We'll wait for this to load. Oh, see what's nice is when we're actually in the game, I'm like clicking away from the game and you guys still see the game. And you can't see my on screen. Yeah, so hopefully that helped Josh kind of know a little bit of a method. I will share the link for the real video. The German video, which is a little bit outdated slightly. And pretty much did what I did, but maybe there's something in there I missed. So this is Dirt's pretend house that I haven't modeled yet. It's just the default house. If you look this way, you can see his fence. If you watch any of the videos, you'll kind of recognize that part. In turn, we got telephone poles, and then we got our sheds over here. So let's go for a little tour. We'll head out, see if the mail lady there, Dirt's future wife there. No, I'm just kidding. She's married and much older. Let's see if she dropped off any mail for us. And we're just gonna... Nope, nothing in there. We'll go to the road to start, and then we'll come in. So we're pretending dirt farm. We're a dirt farmer. Oh, this is for like the road. The road's gonna be elevated about a meter off the ground. I just haven't done that part. I don't know why. But you can see the telephone poles, which are kind of matching. I still need to move them down closer. They're actually between this path, this little foot gate, and this garage gate. They're kind of like right here coming up, those poles. So everything will be down. But our first building, thanks to BC Bueller and some other modders, I'm not sure. I think this was Trailer Park Farms did this one too, but got a little workshop garage. You know, it doesn't really match what Dirt's garage has. A door like we just went in and a door on the side where that window is. This one doesn't. So this one has like a little car garage, a bigger tractor garage, and it has this weird little like office back here, which isn't how Dirt's farm is. I think you can open all these. There's like a little generating room, and there's lights and everything in here. Bathroom. Now, Dirt doesn't have this door, but this will look over towards the cow farm. So this side, that's kind of a back office entrance of the shop there. Then we got another building. So this is kind of what the American shed, as Dirt calls it, is right here. And my version right now, because Legacy is going to make the real one eventually. Right now it's just a drive-through storage, probably a lot bigger than the American shed that it currently has, or a bit bigger. I guess your grandparents' motorhome would fit over here in this corner. But you're going to have doors in the back and the front, so you can drive equipment right through. Like I said, this telephone poles are supposed to be back here more and kind of over. So there's that building, so you'll be able to pull equipment in and out of here. And over here we have a couple bins. So I'm just noticing my files are wrong because I had different bins back here, but they're not loading. So there's two kind of large ones here. There's a bit smaller one of these bins, not the right brand, but close enough. We got this old one that isn't functioning, it's just there, and there's supposed to be a big one right here, but I did something wrong with the files. I have to look. There's supposed to be a bigger one, which is all the correct amounts, but these two back ones are just decoration, and players aren't going to be able to use them. There's too many bins, and in Farming Sim you don't really need to use that many, so we'll have those three functioning ones. Then we have, like, this pole here is supposed to be between the Quadstick and these two, somewhere right there where that shadow is. So this is the Quadstick building. Now I still have to, we might retexture this to be white, like Dirt's actual one is a white colored building like this. But yeah, that's where the John Deere and all the tractors sleep during the winter. Then we have our big bins here. These are just placeholders right now. I don't have them all correctly in and all that, but so there's going to be 4 big bins bigger than these ones. They're just placeholders, like I said. And these ones will be, of course, functioning again, and we're going to have an auger on the farm, and you're going to have to fill up these with the seed or the crop that you do. There'll be 2 more bins over here, one for solid fertilizer and one for seeds. That's where this one is, where Dirt put seed this winter or this spring in the wheat cleaning video. The wheat one in this one, it's a bit taller and skinnier. Then on this side, I think I'm gonna put this in the map. Now it's not accurate to what's on Dirt's farm. There's 3 more big bins over here and a smaller one and another fertilizing hopper bottom bin over here, I think. But I was thinking of just putting this, and we'll have a grate. So this will be more farm sim style, where you can just drive in, empty, load it again, without having to use an auger. And this will probably have a limited capacity, like much smaller than those ones, to kind of make people want to learn and use the augers versus loading it. But I think maybe a new farmer, we're just going to have this, and on the farm manager we'll have the real setup. This will be nicer for some people. Then we have this building. Now I'm having trouble with this building. It's not functioning. I did it the exact same way, but for some reason it's like a decoration instead of actually showing. So I did ask Josh eventually when he has time. He's a very busy guy. He gives a lot of time to farm sim, but busy guy, and he has family, and you know, so I'm not in any rush. But this building doesn't function right now, and I was trying to change the color of that one to be matching this. I had problems, so I don't know. There's a little bit over here. There's another back gate thing over to Dirt's house, and then there's this field. And so I'll show you the mini map quick. So this is the mini map. So you're gonna have about 10 or 9 different fields you can purchase. These locations need to be, I don't know what's going on. I moved them. I swear I moved them, but they're kind of stuck out here. There's a workshop trigger, but we'll get in the truck. And we'll go for a little spin before I end here. If I can get moving. So I actually want to edit the terrain to be a lot more spiky, like the actual dried out ground and like how it looks on Dirt's videos. It's just gonna be a last thing. It's the least important, to be honest. But we have our little lake, which I think this dam is a bit too big. I don't think it's actually that big in reality. But there's some liberties I'm taking in making this more cool for the video game. We have this giant field over here, which is, it's huge in farm sim, but it's only half of the real size. And then we have this kind of roadway that's just going to take you to that field. So you have to drive equipment. It'll be pretty cool. We go over here. Be like a cool path, and there'll be grass you can cut and stuff for your cows. We'll come into the yard, and yeah, that's a little too close. I have to make it a little bigger. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just smooth it out a little bit. So on this side, there's a wheat field. We got signs. We're going to have signs all over. And I'm actually going to have signs telling people what's coming up. So there'll be one that says, animal dealer on your right. Different stuff like that. So we'll come here. So this is a short road where you'll just be transporting equipment to these fields. And then we'll have kind of a field entrance. I'll have to smooth that. And there's another huge field that goes that way. Whoa. That sign says soft shoulder. It's not really soft, it's pretty hard. And we'll have a stop sign. So this is just a 1x map, or 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. And not big, but it's reality, so the fields are huge. And it's like just recreating role-playing Dirt Farmer on YouTube, pretty much. So we have this building. This is the animal dealership. This building over here is going to have vehicles and different stuff in it. Then we'll have a bale sell point right here. So we'll have to reverse or whatever. And this barn will be full of hay. Or all 3 different types of hay bales. And then we're going to have like baby cows over here, like little calves. In this barn. I just decided last night we're only going to have 3 animals on this map. So we're going to have cows, pigs, and chickens. And horses, I guess. Maybe we'll have horses too. So 3. Or 4 animals, not sheep though. There's no sheep here. So this will be like where the cattle will be living. In this. And you load them up there. I actually kind of want to work with Josh to figure out this, but I'm wondering if we can make this an actual functioning cow barn, like when you place down a cow barn in the game and then you buy animals and they're walking around. I wonder if we could get that to activate, but having an NPC or like the map as the player and have cows walking around. And either we're going to put placeholders of just like the model of the cows, or we're going to have them walking around and being functioning. And then we're going to do, there's going to be like a chicken pen. This will be like for horses or pigs or something like that. And then we have the large one. Yeah. And then over here, this is the little like animal dealer building. So what I did here is actually, and it's really easy to do, and this is something that Farmer or Bauer Brown, the map modder, just made a video on. But see, I took all 3 or 4 buildings from the animal dealer and just stuck them together to make a different building. It doesn't really have to make sense as long as the doors are lined up and you kind of just stick them all together and it looks believable and it's a different shape than what everyone else has. That's kind of my goal, is I want everything to look slightly different than what you've seen before. Everyone seems to just take the same animal dealership and plunk it down from Elm Creek and call it a day. And I kind of want things to be unique and different, so we even have a different shed there from someone that made it on the prefabs. Go ahead down here. This giant field to our right is the biggest one on the map, and the one on the left is the longest one, but not the biggest. So look, I'm going 120 and this is taking a while to go down. So pretty big. It's not totally flat. There's a little bit of undulation there. And then we come into where our vehicle and gas station are. So where I live, there's gas stations like this around where they're not underground. Some of them. And they put the tanks above ground. Fill them with diesel and you pull up. Fill up and pay with the credit card or whatever. So this is kind of where you're going to get fuel. This might be a little too big. And I got to change the labels there. But that's where I got it from. River Bottom Propane. So if you find on... what was his name? I'm going to have to find the link to the modder who I've gotten permission to use his mods on the map. But it's part of that, so I just took the propane tanks from the corn dry silo that he had and put it there. Put those big concrete walls around. And I gotta finish up this fence. It's actually not gonna be all the way out there because it's too big. But this is gonna be our, this is from Trailer Park Farms giant workshop garage. You've seen it in other Let's Plays I've done. I'm having a problem where this doesn't function either right now. Yeah, I can't open the doors, but there's like an office. That's where Rusty's office is going to be. And I'm going to build a custom sign for this. But this is kind of the idea. And back here is just going to be storage, not really player accessible. So back here, you get the idea. And all the equipment will spawn in this giant yard right here. Now, like I said, I have to raise up the ground so it matches. But let's go to the last place. So down this road, there's a bit of a smaller field to our left here. I like the end of this field because it's right on the edge of the coulee. Kind of goes down a little bit. Pretty fun and steep. And then down the hill, we'll have some signs that say steep hill and whatnot. And this is kind of the journey I want you to take from the farmyard once you fill up the silos and you're going to sell grain. It's going to be a bit of a grass field down here. And I'm actually thinking of making this a river. Now, it is a river in reality, but not this big. And not as exciting, but I was thinking we'd make this a big river. And then the road kind of comes around. The road does not go like this in real life. Whee! I don't think Dirt does that in his truck. But I did here. But yeah, it doesn't swoop around. It kind of comes down that hill and then across here on an angle and then up this big hill. But I wanted it to go around. And I was actually thinking of making this central area here a lime mine where you know, it has the mining facilities like on some other maps. And you mine for the lime and you buy it there, like a lime purchasing station. Then we go up the big hill. So it'd be a challenge to bring a semi up here. It's totally possible. And then we come up here to our selling station where obviously things aren't going to be floating in the air. We have a scale house that can weigh the product, how much you're bringing in, how much you're leaving with. And we might use this, we might not. This bin area, area 21. So inside there it has dumping areas to sell your corn in these ginormous silos. And they even have custom sounds. And then this one, as you can see, there's the propane tanks for the corn dryer, and I just made one bigger. And that one's the AGI selling station. And there's going to be one more big field up here. So that's pretty much where I've gotten. We only have 3 farmlands made so far, and I still have to redo them, but I know a new way of doing it. It won't take too long. But yeah, pretty big map in terms of land and unique, I think. Let's head down into the coulee here. So yeah, a lot of these cliffs are a lot more straight up and down and jaggedy than they are in the map right now. So I might work on that, but that's the last thing I'm going to worry about. I'm going to get all the functionality and all the buildings in place. And then take a long time with the terrain paintbrush in GE and make it real good. But yeah, you can see these are massive fields, so the starting equipment for this farm is going to be what Dirt uses. It's going to be big tractors. I'm not going to start you off little. It's going to be... You're gonna have to have a different way of playing this map. It's not going to be about progressive building your farm up. It's going to be about making a certain amount of money or buying all the fields eventually. So it'll be fun because you get to play exactly like how Dirt does it. And these fields are massive, so it'll be definitely big harvest. So yeah, that's my map so far. And like I said, Josh is helping out with little things here, helping me get buildings working in the game. We'll have to go through and get all these triggers worked out, make sure everything's functioning. And then adding like live animals and things like that to the dealerships. And we're only having like 4 areas in the map that you go, but we're going to make sure they're super detailed and unique to the map and functioning the way really they should or can and look really cool. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope the tutorial has helped you out a little bit. We'll be doing more in the future on this channel and on Dirt Modders when we finally release and put that channel out there. But until next time, take care, have fun, and stay safe out there, everyone. Thanks again to all the donators today for helping us get GE. It's Houdini. That's pretty incredible, unbelievable. Thank you so much. And we'll definitely be making some maps for you guys to enjoy. We have some really crazy ideas coming out in our head. We have some not even based on maps like this, but fun, very creative and different ways and challenging ways to play farm sim that maybe some of the super experienced players will kind of want to try out. Now I don't want to get into too much specifics, but kind of an idea of hand tools. Recently, a lot of modders came out with hand equipment, small equipment. You know, there's like a plant by hand, different stuff like that, things we can do. And I have some ideas to make a very challenging yet doable way of using that equipment. So look out for that. And now that we're getting GE, definitely getting it now, we're going to be able to do those ideas and bring them to you. So yeah, take care. Thanks, Dirt, for the raid, and thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. Really appreciate it. Pretty cool day to stream, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, catch ya. And I don't know if anyone else is streaming. If someone could look quick, we could put a link in chat and just send people that way. But if not, I gotta go get some lunch. I am starving. And yeah, till next time. Bye.